Hi guys, I'm Owen Gallagher, and that's Chris Tomoko on the other side of the screen, and we can't see each other right now because COVID exists. So I guess we'll probably do an online chat, and we thought, seeing how we're going over the top 4 songs as fans have voted, that we'd do a little chat about the songwriting and the structure of Beacons.
Yeah.
And how that turned out to be a song. So yeah, go ahead, Chris.
I think the biggest thing, and I guess the fact that people voted Beacons in the top 4, it aligns with our thoughts on the song. We obviously fell in love with it when we wrote it. I guess the biggest thing was with Beacons, after it was written and put together, deciding to release it as the first single was definitely a process. It was different to everything else we'd written at that point. It was like the first song that had the big, catchy, clean vocal hook, and it's much more of a groovier vibe in the riffs, and that was fun putting it together, because I think it definitely came across that way when we were writing it. Like, oh yeah, this is definitely different. Did you feel that way when we were sitting down writing it?
Yeah, Beacons was it was one of the first songs we wrote for PVM. It was definitely like top 3. Like first 3, but it was a significant departure from everything previously we'd been writing, because everything off Resolution, the album before PVM, was very much a very standard thrashy melody style. Like, that album definitely had its own vibe, but it didn't experiment too hard with what we wanted to try and do. Whereas everything we started approaching the writing with PVM, we're just like, we've never done this before.
Yeah, and I think you make that point. Like, I think I wrote the intro riff was the first thing I wrote, I think, because then it was like that, it's this like sick, groovy, maybe, almost Soilworky. I know that's like a push, but that...
It was originally going to be a breakdown. Right. I remember that.
And so, like, I remember just writing that and being like, no, this is how the song starts. And then it was like, I know that we all kind of got a bit confused until you came over, and we spent like a whole day pretty much writing the song. And I know that, like, when we were finished, well, we knew we were going to send it to the guys, and I think we were like really confident. We were like, no, we smashed this. And it's like, Kes and I definitely differ a lot on songwriting. So when I
think we were saying, this is really good, Joao will hate it.
If Joao says he hates it, we know it's a banger. But no, I know that, like, because we're so opposite in our songwriting, when we finished Beacons and we were both like, look at our child, it's beautiful, I think there was some confidence behind it. At least I know I felt that way. The biggest thing with that song is it's definitely riffy, but different to some of the other stuff we've done. Like, there's a lot of like slidey guitar parts. Like the bridge riff, for example, is ridiculous, as you're aware, because you wrote it with all the ridiculous fingering positions. And anyone who's tried to learn that, bless, it's not easy. I'm so glad there's no vocals over that. It's just an instrumental.
If anyone wants to learn if we talk about the idea of Kes fingering in this, that sounds like a bad sex joke. Kes fingering in this band. If you play guitar, try doing all first fret, each finger, no barring.
Yeah.
Like 1 1 1 1 1 1 1.
That's how Kes plays.
And then do it inverted 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Just try doing that as like up and down all the first fret.
Yeah.
I do that. I don't know why. It's probably a move over from piano, me playing piano and guitar at the same time, but it's a weird fingering technique.
Yeah.
So the bridge has a lot of that in it.
I think
like
what would be a good idea,
spider hand shapes.
If anyone's interested, and feel free to comment when the video is out, if you want the tabs for Beacons, let us know, because then maybe you'll see it and understand.
You'll force me to actually score out and have good tabs for the song. So basically, if you want Kes to have to do more work in Crispy Evil,
comment below,
comment and subscribe. How did you approach lyrics for this song? Like, what was the background of that song? I don't know what the song's about. No, okay.
It's interesting. It's one of those songs that it's probably one of the songs for me that gets the most comments or questions from people, because they've related to it in a certain way. Like, I can, without going into too much detail, it was at a time in my life that I had a lot of stuff going on, as we all did around that album time. I'd come out of a long-term relationship, had a lot of personal stuff going on, obviously, with Milky passing. That was our first writing process without him, and the song does talk a lot about loss, but trying not to hang on to things that are already gone, and just looking forward to that next step, looking forward to that next light that comes your way, and literally looking to that beacon that's going to pull you towards it and away from all the mess that's going on. And I think that was probably one of the proudest moments for me, was finishing the lyrics for that song and just sort of like being happy with the music and being equally happy with the lyrics and not feeling like one was better than the other. So once the lyrics were finished with that, I think that was probably one of the maybe 4 songs that had pretty much no changes after I showed you guys, if I'm not mistaken. That was definitely...
It was also the second song. Like, talk quickly about how it came about having cleans on that song, because originally it was going to be all screams.
Yeah. So between that and Karma Favors the Week, they were the sort of catalysts for having any cleans on the album. But I knew that... So with Karma, the clean vocal melody in the chorus was much more of like the melody, you know. It has, you know, that da-da-da-da-da-da. It's got a lot of actual movement to it. Whereas the Beacons chorus was mostly just growls, you know, that made to feel like there's real long held out notes. But I remember when I was like writing the lyrics, I wanted to have that almost pained vocal sound. So there's a lot of sustained notes in that chorus, and like it's still an asshole to sing live just because that high harmony in those notes, they're just held. There's no like movement on them, so they're just like really high up, they're really yelled, and they're really held out. And for me, it just added so much more emotion to it. Like, in a weird way, every time I sing that song now, I'm glad I'm not doing growls for it, because to me, the clean vocals actually represent the lyrics. Like, that to me feels like what the clean vocals are doing in that chorus are actually what the song feels like when I was writing it. So that's kind of what dictated that. And I mean, again, I was just glad that when I came up with the idea and showed you guys, everyone was pretty much like, I think all of you, and I was really happy that you kind of had the response you did. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, cool, that's fine. It was like, oh yeah, that's the right choice. And I think that...
This is the new direction.
Yeah.
There was very much a catalyst for kind of all the other songs in the follow-up for PVM. Like, I'd say... Yeah, Beacons is the song where, like, this is what this album sounds like, to a degree. It's got enough variety. It's got the blast. It's got the solo. It's got the kind of pulled back section. It's got kind of a bouncy part. It's got some synth stuff. It's got clean vocals. It's got scream vocals. It's got an interesting vibe to it, and it's got some insane drum parts. I remember when we released it, so, like, the first 20 comments were all just, why are you hurting your drummer like that? What did you do to Matt?
It's the post-chorus riff, the da, dig, 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 and it's just those stupid blasts with the 16th kicks, and like, it makes it though. Like, I remember when we were writing it, that wasn't in there until Matt pretty much got to like one of the final renditions of the drums, and it was like, holy shit, like that's... I guess the point you made about moving into the direction the band went into since writing Beacons, it's like, we try to have so much dynamics in our music despite the fact that we're not employing super elongated progressive moments or pulling it back down to like a clean guitar for 5 minutes.
I keep cutting out my 20-minute long prog song.
We do. But yeah, like, we try to incorporate those elements without it feeling like the song has to just change completely. Like, the gear shifts are in there, but it's never like idling. And Beacons was a really good way of going, this song like goes ham, but then when it's not, it's really big. It's a very big sounding song. So I think that dictated, honestly, I think that song almost on its own has dictated where the band has moved since PVM. And every time we play it live, the response we get, the crowd interaction, again, the way...
It's a good jump up.
It is, and the way people still respond to the lyrics, and I guess some of the comments we still get regarding that song, I think that it holds a special place with our fans, and I think maybe almost an even more special place within the band, knowing what that song has done for us and where we've moved since then.
But yeah, that was basically this. This was a nice little quick kind of just chat about songs. If this was interesting, or you have any more questions about the songwriting process or how we go about stuff, please comment or interact with this in any way. And yeah, we're happy to do more of these and touch on more songs, bring out some tabs, and just go over the Orpheus process, because we're not doing anything else at home. Right, we'll have more content coming out, so please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That was the most cheesy like send off I've ever done. Anyway, bye. Thanks very much.